Welcome, everyone, to the first episode of Watch With Us. My name is Harry. I will be watching your favorite shows and talking over them with a guest. We'll be drinking. We'll be doing all kinds of stuff, talking, and this is basically a test pilot episode. We're going to be watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, and when you've already started it, if you haven't started it, we are on episode 1, and we started the recording basically at the same time, so whatever minute we're at, that's the one we're at. I started watching this show after that horrible debacle of a movie came out. I didn't actually see the movie, but I heard it was really bad, and the reason it was really bad was because the show was so good, so I thought I'd give it a shot. And I got through it in a couple weeks, just binge watched the whole every season, and loved it. Avatar: The Last Airbender, the credits coming up there. Basically, a kid becomes the last Airbender. If you don't know, if you haven't watched this show already, why are you listening to me? But yeah, you know the basic premise. I really enjoyed it. The Avatar, pretty funny kid. You'll be introduced to the cast here in a minute. Usually I'll have a guest here, so it won't just be me going and talking incessantly for 20 minutes annoyingly. We'll be shooting the shit and hopefully trying to entertain you. Great show by Nickelodeon. Came out in 2005. I was under the impression that this was an anime show, but this was created by American cartoons in the style of Japanese animation, I guess. Lots and lots of minorities. The whole cast is main characters based on Inuit, it says, and the Avatar main character is Asian, Oriental, whatever the proper political correct term is, in a fake world with a made-up history. Part of the main reason why the movie was so hated was the whitewash of the cast, apparently, and horribly bad adaptation just in general, and the fact that it was what's his name, the twist. It's a twist guy. That guy's name. He did not do a great job, apparently. I liked some of his movies. What's he called? Unbreakable with Bruce Willis. That was not bad. I couldn't stand Sixth Sense. Great tension and stuff with these kids. The oldest ones in the village. These guys, like the oldest male, I think, her brother. If I was actually listening to the show, I could probably tell you these characters' names. Aang is the Avatar, and that the brother and sister are. Let's see here. I don't want to screw up their names. It's been a while since I watched this. Katara is the girl, and Soka is the guy. Soka's hilarious. He is the comic relief most of the time. Not taking anything too seriously. Doesn't have any powers. He just has that cool boomerang axe. Katara, kind of the mother hen of the group, gets annoying with her responsibility and all that crap. She's a waterbender, one of the last waterbenders left in the tribe when the war started. Again, you should know most of this if you're listening to me here. This big frozen ice globe. The episode's called The Boy in the Iceberg, but I don't call that an iceberg. It's a big magical ice circle. You're going to see it here in a second, floating for some reason up. I don't know why it wasn't floating before. Maybe it was trapped under the ice, but I guess technically you could call that a iceberg. He's using his avatar spiritual some garbage, I can't remember what they call it. He can speak with all his past lives and stuff. That's what's helping him here. Fate, all that garbage. Oh, that's Soka's weird axe ball thingy. I don't know what you call that. But I don't know if I'd be doing that right away. I might take a look at it a little bit. Figure out why this guy was trapped in a ball. How does she know? This is not. How do you know she's a good thing just because it's a kid? It could be evil. What are you doing, Katara? Come on. I see that's a big red flag right there. It's blue. It's not red or nothing, but still, that doesn't look like it's a good thing. Well, and it's obviously not, because Fire Nation here introduced Scarface. He has a great character arc. He spends so much time being an evil douchebag prick. And by the end of the series, they gotta rush it a little bit by the end of the last season. They don't have time. They kinda gotta wrap everything up. It feels that way anyway. The last couple episodes feel like it could be a whole season. Um, this is his uncle. He's the Fire Prince. He's been banished again. If you don't know these things, why are you listening to me? Watch the show, then listen to this fucking commentary. Zuko. He is the Firebender. He'll eventually teach Aang all his tricks. I believe he gets a few teachers, Aang. And he's eventually one of them. I love his uncle. Again, it's been a while and I'm listening to this on mute. So let's see what the uncle's name is. Fire Nation. Zuko's parental uncle, Iroh. He's a cool guy. Funny. Another comic relief. Yeah, point a spear at the Avatar. That's gonna do anything. He's glowing with magic. He hasn't anything to eat in 100 goddamn years. That's good, poke him. Again, it's funny. I enjoyed the show. I can't remember if it was this or Robotech. I think it was Robotech, but this was runner-up for, or maybe it was the voted best love story in animated kids cartoon. I think it was this. Might have been Robotech, but I'm gonna go with it was Avatar. His love story is really good. As much as it's creepy that we're talking about 13 and 14-year-olds, and even calling them 13 and 14-year-olds, probably giving them no credit. That's a good time to bring up the fact that a grown man is doing a commentary on a child's kids cartoon that is primarily a love story. But yeah, I like the show, and hopefully you do too, so you don't care how old I am. This guy, I love this floating bison, I think they call it. Again, I'm sorry, can't remember the names, but just the concept of a floating bison kind of weirds me out. It doesn't make much sense. And we're like, does it have a bladder? Appa, sorry, the Aang's flying bison, Appa. He's a great character. He goes missing for a while, and it's so tense when he gets kidnapped. But sneeze, of course. It's Soka. But yeah, what the does he have a bladder full of helium? Like you'll see him soon again if you haven't seen the series. I'm gonna stop saying that soon, but he floats most likely, and more than flies, he floats, and he uses that giant beaver tail he has as a kind of a propulsion device. But you don't see any other floating animals. You think on a planet that this particular species, but yeah, I might be thinking a little too much about a goddamn cartoon but you'd think with a flying bladder or whatever the hell, that other animals would evolve with this. You'd have floating elephants, you'd have floating giraffe, you'd have floating hippos. Like, you never see anything but these goddamn bisons, and it seems like they've been hunted to extinction. These Soka and Katara don't know what the hell it is. They're surprised that every time it starts flying. And he's only been gone 100 years. You'd think they'd remember, or at least there'd be legends of flying herds of bison floating through the sky. But, like I said, I might be thinking about it too much. This is a great concept, and a great mode of travel. Flying these giant things. He's funny. He's like a big kitty cat. Again, Soka is hilarious. You'll find as an adult, if you're watching this for the first time, probably about 50-50 hit or miss with Soka's sense of humor, but there's some great, what do you call it? See? Like, he's floating. He's not quite going up yet, but he's tired. They can't, they can't they have a hard time in this show. Um, I, what's the best way to say it? Finishing off a season. It feels like every season they think they're going to be canceled. And they they don't go all the way with it, but they almost it almost feels like, yeah, this could be the end. I might be completely wrong about that, but definitely the last season feels like they're rushed. Um, Sorry about the ums. I always like the art style in this. Again, it's a very anime oriented, but it feels like it has that American twist to it. Especially when you see their eyes bug out and everything. They do that a little bit like the traditional anime, but not as much. It's much more traditional animation, traditional American animation. Um, if I didn't say, this is we'll probably be doing popular shows mostly on during the show. Watch with us. Again, mo I'll have guests, so you won't just be listening to me drone on and on and on and on and on about stupid crap. This is more of just a test. I plan on doing these live on maybe YouTube, or I'm dabbling with Twitch, but I don't know who I'm going to stream it to or what I'm going to stream it to, but I'd like to have a live commentary going so anybody watching at the time can interact with us. It'd be a dream to have somebody actually involved with whatever I'm watching or whatever we're watching together. Also in on the commentary, but I doubt that will ever happen. I do have creative friends, so there's a possibility that I could meet somebody or have somebody introduce me to somebody who's actually been in something. You're actually seeing Aang's dream here when he left. He pussed out of his avatar responsibilities and got stuck in a storm and trapped in this iceberg. There's the avatar state, I think they call it, kicking in to save him. That'll happen often. Again, some of these you'll notice stereotypes with these three main characters. Aang's the do-gooder, Boy Scout, naive. Can't figure out why everybody isn't on the same page as him. Love everybody. Figure it out. Soka, again, comic relief. He's the guy who gets beaten over the head with the prejudice stick and the misogynist stick. There's that whole episodes where he learns a lesson about how women are equal, and there's whole episodes devoted to him uh, just learning lessons that are just kind of obvious. But again, it's a kid's show. Um, like, you'd think they'd leave a force of security. Like, these Water Nation people just left their whole community, just children and old women and old men, and you leave a squad of guys to, protect or try to do something. Because as we know, the Fire Nation's going to show up and start causing shit. Another thing that bugged me. Again, thinking too much about a kid's cartoon, but that's what we're here for. Dissect and destroy it. Hopefully we'll be doing good stuff like Avatar. But again, watching a bad show or a bad movie is just as fun as talking about a good show or a good movie. That's some things I have on the plate so far. Is I think I might do with a buddy of mine. Dragon Ball Z. We'll start Dragon Ball Z. We watched it when we were kids, and I think it'd be funny for the two of us to revisit it together and record that. I have another friend I'd like to watch. But we watch old movies and drink and make fun of them. So we have a few that we classically watch. A Boy and His Dog, if you've ever seen that. Well, I don't know why you would, but Don Johnson, probably 70s movie in the 70s, post-apocalyptic kind of Mad Max kind of deal. It's just off, completely bonkers, insane. Yeah, it's one of those. It should be done on How Did This Get Made, the podcast. Yeah, it's just mind blowing. The stuff that goes on in this movie, A Boy and His Dog, and it made it to film. Don Johnson is the star of this movie, and there's the actual actors in it that you recognize, and it's just completely crazy.
Um, if you're a fan of podcasts, you probably will catch me referencing a lot of podcasts. I watch quite a few. I'll try to keep my references to a minimum, or if I do steal a joke, I'll try to remember which podcast I heard it on and reference that at the time. I'll also try to avoid movies that I did see in podcasts, but there's just some that I might have to do. Maximum Overdrive, Stephen King classic. That's definitely going to be on the list. Shows I'm a little confused about. Just starting a series, then once you start episode one, like you expect the rest of the series to follow as quickly as possible, but I don't know if I have anybody to watch this with. I think this might be my solo show. If I don't have a guest on, I'll come back to Avatar and we'll talk about that for half an hour, 20 minutes. I'm hoping to get this every an episode out every Sunday. Once I decide when I'll be streaming on it, I'll be posting that and everything. This is hilarious. This Soka trying to teach the kids of the village how to defend it. This is his militia. He's got to arm these kids and train them up. But yeah, I expect a lot of that dead silence, especially on the solo ones. uh, Again, it's an easy, not easy watch. Not quite, not it gets some deep themes. There's a lot of parental themes, father, mother. Not too much mother actually. You don't talk about too many mama. There's Soka. I believe his father killed his mother, so he has some daddy issues, and you'll find out that eventually. Um, but Soka and Katara's mother isn't really mentioned much. I don't think Yang's parents are ever mentioned. I believe he's like a monk or something, so he probably was raised at a temple or something with. We probably don't even know if he ever met his parents, but Soka and Katara's dad is currently off at war. I believe he's the leader of the Southern Water Tribes military force who is fighting the Fire Nation at the moment with the rest of the nations, the Earth Nation and the Air Nation at this point has been wiped out by Fire Nation 100 years ago. Again, you have probably know this if you're listening to this commentary. You probably know the show enough. These funny little penguins I always loved with the two wings. Like, yeah, they'll be riding them in a second. It's hilarious. They just grab these poor fucking penguins, start riding them down the hill and shit. It's great. Uh, if they are really brave, they would have had these. They would have had these water tribe people just clubbing these things, dragging them back to eat. The kids should all be out here just running around knocking these bastards out. Well, what do they eat? Do they eat fish? There's got to be some fish thing. They're not just eating snow here. You can't grow anything. Yeah, these things are totally a herd that they got to be cooking up these things every night. They can't just be riding them like this. That's just so funny. Let's go on a penguin, a weird penguin seal ride. Look, they must be seals. It's like a seal fucked a penguin. Does look like fun though. They're having a good time. That's another thing you'll get annoyed with Aang. He does not have his priorities set straight. He's kind of those guys who just wants to have a good time and enjoy life. But while war is going on and the fate of the world hangs in the balance, Aang, you should get off your ass and start training. He hasn't made that decision yet. He's still just an airbender. Doesn't he has the ability like no one else, like you to show you. Weird. Again, stupid decisions made by Aang is a running gag on this in this show. Again, most of the things are what had to happen, or the show wouldn't have continued. He had to do that, but let's just go on this big derelict military ship and explore it as kids. Like, and you go and explore some abandoned buildings when you were a kid. Is that ever a good idea? Like, It was fun. You didn't die if you were lucky, but this is just. Can you imagine finding a World War II battleship just shipwrecked on a beach somewhere and going, hey, let's go take a look in there. Live rounds been sitting there, exposed to there for probably 100 years. The technology is a little weird too. It's like a weird steampunky magic kind of world. It's not really magic, it's bending they do. Got swords and melee weapons, but they can their hands are flamethrowers essentially, so I don't know when you'd use a sword. Awkward pause. Yeah, they're just explaining stuff. I gotta put the subtitles on this. Figure what's going on. He's just got some news. But yeah, you'll see this scene in this series recur over and over again. Soka explaining to Aang something, why he has to be responsible, why he has to keep training, why he can't do this, why he can't do that, why he has to do this, he has to do that. There's a great episode in the third or fourth season. Like, look at this. Who's booby trapping a derelict? Is that a booby trap? Yeah, it's a booby trap. They abandoned the ship and left booby traps on it. Way to go, Aang. The one guy who's looking for you. The whole world. The only guy who thinks you're alive. And you start airbending right in front of him. Again, I like the Cinderella story here of Cinderella story. It's not it. That's not the right term. It's like a I don't know. Well, that's over. Thanks very much as the credits. Again, this is a test episode, but I hope you enjoyed it. Hope I wasn't too annoying. Next time I will have a guest, and we'll be talking back and forth, and maybe we'll do a movie, maybe we'll do the next episode, maybe we'll do Dragon Ball Z. But thanks for joining me, and thanks for listening, and hopefully you'll continue with us, and we'll be able to enjoy making a new series together. Like I said, Sunday nights, 7 or 8 o'clock, I'll be doing the live broadcast recording at the same time, and hopefully I'll be able to get the episode out by the Monday. This one, again, no live episode, me by myself, kind of more of a commercial than an actual episode, pilot, but thank you very much, and you have a good one.